Exactly.
The guild president should give us accountability. Where does our money go?
Exactly.
20,000, they begin calculating, we are 1,000 students, that is 2 million, 20
I would say
million.
I had goals of being a guild president at a certain moment when I was, back then when I was in Form 3 to today. That's when I
So we must say leadership is in your blood.
Actually, it is a family thing. I would say representation of the university outside. And this happened when I ran in for the rest of WUSA preparation. I've managed to secure some students some sponsorships. The second thing, there's a time we had a scuffle with the administration.
Yeah.
That was all about the freshers ball.
Yeah, because I must say it was better than that of Makerere University.
You know, for you to be a good leader, you can't fulfill each and everyone's promise.
Yeah.
And who have already promised.
Yes.
I would say there is no way your students, or the students you're serving, will be respected when you're not respected, you as a student.
Turn it up just a little. This is where ideas get louder. Welcome to the blueprint. Big talk, big talk, big talk, big talk, yeah. Big talk, big talk, big talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back yet to another edition of the Big Talk Blueprint episodes. I'm here today with a mighty man, none other than the outgoing guild president of the mighty Ernest University, and that is Mr. Jonathan Kynobera. Yes, Mr. Jonathan Kynobera, you're welcome.
I'm humbled.
Yeah, can you please tell students something little about yourself?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers outside there. Onesmus Jonathan Kynobera is my name, outgoing guild president of the mighty Ernest University.
Yes, Mr. Jonathan Kynobera.
Yes.
You know, getting you has been a hard thing. I know you're a busy man, but I would like to just get to know a few things from you. What inspired you to run for guild presidency during that time? Yeah.
First and foremost, I would say I had goals of being a guild president at a certain moment when I was, back then when I was in Form 3. That's when I got the minds of, at least I knew it one time,
that you're going to
I would run for a post of guild presidency.
You heard
Let it be Makerere, let it be anywhere. But luckily enough, when I came to Ernest Cook, I had to start up my journey. And if I told you to realize, from my year one, I've been a leader throughout to date.
So we must say leadership is in your blood.
Actually, it is a family thing. I come from a political family background.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How do you feel knowing that your time is coming to an end?
Actually, as for now, I feel the happiest.
I thought you're going to feel like I'm losing my privilege.
Actually, not really. I'm a person who has a heart of at least wishing others well.
Yes.
I believe I might have been a good leader, but I believe there's a better leader who can come after me. That's why at least I have to show other people and also give them a chance to come and lead. We copy a leaf and we shall know how best we can rank ourselves, whether we were the best or we were good leaders and they have been the better or best.
Running back into the moments when you're trying to run for campaign, I saw a lot of leaders were struggling in those times.
Yes.
What's one of those toughest, you can earmark for me those hardest or the toughest moments you made during your campaign?
Actually, I would say the first was the busy schedule I had at that moment.
Yes.
Balancing academics at the same time with the campaigns. The other thing would be actually financially. Financially, there's also that challenge whereby you have to make sure you're feeding the team that you're moving with. You have to produce the banners and the posters. You have to do whatsoever, everything. At least those are the main challenges that I faced. Then also interferences from some staffs. I would say some staffs. By then, we had some staffs who got themselves into students' politics and they would make decisions on behalf of students. Yes.
I feel like it was a hard time for you.
Exactly. That was my first complaint. When I went through, and I remember even talking about it with the Dean of Students during our first meeting. But luckily enough, that for this time round, at least there was no influence. Yes.
Yeah, I saw this time around the candidates were facing just challenges financially and so on. You have gone through a lot, and you know, students most likely during your regime, I know they can testify and be like, yes, Mr. Kynobera has done this and these big things. According to you, I know that is why you sit down yourself and you are like, I appreciate myself for this. Give me some of the achievements that you may think that you believe students of Ernest University have achieved because of your leadership.
Actually, first and foremost, with this particular leadership, I've not been an individual.
Yes.
It has been teamwork with the cabinet members I've been working with. Once I talk about cabinet members, I'm not meaning only the executive.
Yes.
But amongst these, you will find the GRCs, class coordinators, as I would say, and even some other, we have leaders from the various associations that we are having. You know, we have been following that hierarchy that in most cases have been receiving even complaints from students that are supposed to be subjected to the administration through these very leaders. So there are a lot of achievements that I would talk about. First and foremost, I would say I've done the best. There are things that I've not managed to achieve during my reign because I know they need some time, but at least I've put a milestone. I've at least touched each and everything that I'm supposed to touch.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, I would say representation of the university outside. And this happened when I ran in for the rest of WUSA president.
Yes.
That was a big achievement to me and also to the university at large. The second thing, I came in and we have been having some students who have been struggling financially to get some tuition. I've managed to secure for some students some sponsorships, and many of them are going to study.
That is amazing.
Just on university merit. Then there are very many other things. Initially, when I came into power, students, we never had a good representation. First and foremost, there was no respect for students, even in the various offices that are supposed to serve students. But as per now, if I told you to realize, at least there has been change. Students have now felt that they are within their university, unlike how it used to be initially. So students used to fear even to come out to speak about the challenges that they are facing. And according to me, I see it has been tormenting students mentally and even psychologically. Yes.
I believe I must commend when you said you ran for UNSA presidency. I remember that time I have a friend of mine, it's called Jerry Wataka. He told me you met them in the East. Yeah, during the UNSA run. I believe that moment was really hard. And
I believe with the time I might come back even for this year.
But what I know, hard time shape great leaders.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. For someone who hasn't tested it, they can't, they can't be like this is this. And I know there are moments that you felt and you're like, this is why I ran for good presidency. Please, can you share with us just one moment? You're like, yes, among all the things that I've done, this is the one reason I can credit that I have been a good president of Ernest University.
Yes, first and foremost, there are two moments.
Yes.
I would say openly. First and foremost, it was that for WUNSA, when I ran into the WUNSA race. Yes, at least when I was in those competitions, national-wise, I felt I was doing the right thing, even on behalf of the university, given that I was the first guild president from Ernest University to run into this, or first leader. The second thing, there's a time we had a scuffle with the administration. That was all about the Freshers' Ball. Freshers' Ball, that's the time the administration was telling me to do something else in their favor because of the core values that we follow. But I had to insist and run on what students wanted.
Yes.
And of which I believe, as the administration, they see it as I ran against them, but of which I knew I had to serve the people who had put me in this particular position.
Because you came to serve the people.
These are my people whom I'm supposed to serve, because but then they were my bosses. Yes.
I must say, Ernest Kuku's what is it called? The Freshers' Ball. It was really a wonderful one, because I must say it was better than that of Makerere University. That of which other university I attend? Champogo, plus almost even mobs. Because when I sat down with my friends who attended from other universities, they were like, man, you guys, I didn't actually know this university, but I've actually enjoyed the moment. It had long enjoyment time. It wasn't having a lot of speeches, you get? Yeah. So I believe even if you went against the administration at that time, you were right. Because it actually built on the legacy of the university.
Exactly.
Another thing I want us to tackle is when you're in an office, someone sees you in suits every day
Exactly.
and thinks you're fine. But I believe there are those challenges you faced while in that office, seated there.
Very many.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are some of those challenges that you faced while seated in that chair?
First and foremost, the challenges are quite many. Presentation of students' queries to the administration was the first challenge. In most cases, when you're presenting these challenges, and you have to defend students' rights, someone might think that you're defending what you want to be executed, but in actual sense, you're representing thousands of students behind you. The other thing is balancing. Balancing academics, work, and leadership is something that is very hard. Because to reach an extent whereby you have to represent the school somewhere, but at the same time you have to attend to lectures. So it has been so much hard, even financially, that there are things that you feel you're responsible to attend to, but at the moment when you're financially down, so you have to improvise and find the best means of how you can fulfill all the duties that you're supposed to do at that particular moment. Yes.
At the moment is really hard. Another thing I would like us to talk about is when you're in that office, it is a very beautiful office, very nice, but there are some criticisms that you receive. Simani, that guy eats our money. Simani, that guy, he doesn't fight for us as students. Never. I wonder what.
Yes.
I want you to give me like at least one example of the criticism that you received, and how did you handle it?
Actually, thanks for talking about it. With the criticisms, there's no way you can do away with criticism. You know, for you to be a good leader, you can't fulfill each and everyone's promise.
Yeah.
Because even if you come out and give out money to each and everyone, there are those ones who will feel they don't need the amount, or they're not supposed to get the amount that you have given, and yet it is an equal share. So they will think you have gone against their will, and so you have not served them according to their wish. So first and foremost, the money, I believe the money most of them have been talking about has been executed very well. That some of this money is used, in most cases we have had guild presidents have been paid to facilitate some of these activities, of which some of these activities, they may not involve all students, but there's a particular group of students. You have been seeing some of the engineering students going for conferences.
I have seen them
represent the university. This is part of the money that facilitates all that. Me as a guild president, there are conferences going in for burials, I would say burials, to represent the university. This is some of the money that is used to cater for that. The money that is used to also facilitate for the guild cabinet movements, meetings that are being held, and also these other functions. I would say sports galas, I would say freshers balls, I would say mental health conferences, I would say very many things. So it's only that many students would love to get proper accountability. But
that is a question I've been hearing around campus.
Exactly.
The guild president should give us accountability. Where does our money go? 50,000, they begin calculating, we are 1,000 students, that is 2 million, 20 million, you know?
So, accountability is always good to give out the accountability to students. But in most cases, all I want to put out to students is very openly that before we do anything else as a students guild, we make sure that everything that has been done has been accounted for to the administration. Remember, when we are signing in for these monies, it's not a particular thing that maybe it's we who run particularly this account. We have key signatories, and for you to get any single penny from an account, you should elaborate more on what you're supposed to do, and after that they will expect you to exactly account for what you have done. And also receipts have to be given out.
So I think students were like, this guy just goes and signs money and gets it out of the bank.
It's very hard. It's very hard for a leader to come out and explain each and everything to a single individual, or to find a group of students and be like, members, we withdrew this particular amount, this and this, and we did it, we used it in such and such a way. It's very hard. But in most cases, if at all there would be misuse, I believe even the administration, it can't tolerate that. Remember, this is a private university, and for private university, it's not a must that whatever we pay for, we have to get.
Yeah. That's
To be sincere, this is like someone's business. It's an external business. I don't think whether anyone can start up an institution without aims of benefiting from it. So
even you cannot set up a business without aims of benefit.
So they wouldn't sit and fold their hands and wait for you to misuse funds, and yet they know they can interfere.
Yeah.
Remember, above it all, we are all students. I wouldn't think that as a student leader would be above an institution.
No, they can't.
So I believe the money and whoever would be asking for accountability, they are right. But all I want to tell them and affirm to them is that all the monies that are being released are accounted for.
Okay.
Yes.
And this drives me to the point of, students misquote or misunderstood the purpose of being a guild president. So within just a few words, I want you to assure these students and tell them, what does it mean being a guild president?
Thank you. Being a guild president, you're a leader. I always tell people,
Yeah.
you are a leader, but you're not a politician.
Yes, sir.
And for this being a leader, it means that you're leading a group where you belong. That's why I'm a student leader,
Yes.
not an administrative leader. And in such being, most of the students think that whichever decision is made by the administration, I'm part of it. Only that my work is to submit what has come from the students. And in most cases, we also help to sieve and weigh which part is the heaviest, because you'll find people who are contented with what is going on, but meanwhile others won't be contented. When you got the administration, you can't represent each and every one, but you'll wait and see which side is the heaviest, and that is the side you will decide to now embark on and support. But in most cases, students will come and they will tell you, please, you have decided to do this and this, you people, you have not consulted from us. But in most cases, we are here to represent students, and we get all the ideas from students and share it with the administration. Even when we see, we as leaders, there are decisions that we have tried to make for the good of students, but we feel it is against the administration's will. So it's not all about saying a leader is administrative.
Yeah.
We are here only to lead and to represent students. Yes.
I believe students have now gotten what it means to be a guild president, because you find others saying, bagenda could just say they go there to do what, But I believe these students have now understood. And because you're leaving power, some of them have been having a lot of criticism as a leader. But now, there is a point that you reach as a leader, and you're like, this is how my leadership style is. You get it? So I believe you have a leadership style. So can you tell us what your leadership style is? You can just summarize it within 2 words, and you're like, this is my leadership style.
My leadership style, I would say, is to be presentable at all moments. Once I say being presentable, I would mean you have to be smart for you to be presentable.
Yes, sir.
If at all I talk about the smartness bit of it, I'm meaning both upstairs and also the outlooks. At all moments, I think many of the students, yesterday but one, I received a student who was making a joke, cracking a joke, telling me, for the number of times he has seen me in a t-shirt, they are countable by just his fingers. And I was like, what do you mean? He told me that from the time you stepped in that office, I've never seen you in a shirt without a tie.
And actually, for me also, this is the first day I'm seeing you in this.
And I did it intentionally. Because most of the students, they have never seen me put on t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I've been always in shirts, but for a reason. First and foremost, for the leaders who are coming up and who are serving.
Yes, sir.
I would say there is no way your students or the students you're serving will be respected when you're not respected, you as a supreme leader. That's the reason as to why I've always presented myself in that way. 24/7, I will expect a call from any office, and on top of that, I have to represent the university. There is no need of me going back home to first sort out myself or to do whatsoever, but I have to just match and see how best I can present my people whom I'm representing. Exactly. That's the best. I would say with my leadership is only about being presentable.
That is really a good leadership style. And I believe from this leadership of being a good president, the lessons you've learned.
Very many.
What are those lessons you've learned?
Lessons.
My life has changed because of this.
First and foremost, right now, I've been into the mode of multitasking. I have learned how to balance most of my activities. First and foremost, to take you back, as I talked about balancing academics, work, and leadership, it has been a hectic journey, but at least it has taught me on how to balance each and everything. I believe I've understood the definition of responsibility. Always, I used to ask myself, what do people always mean when they talk about responsibility?
Yes, sir.
But I learned it that this is the time you have to fulfill each and everything that you're supposed to do within a specific amount of time and at the right in the right place. Actually, and that's what I've tried at least throughout my leadership to achieve. So it has taught me a lot that first and foremost, leadership is not individual basis. It is teamwork. Me, I wouldn't say everything that we have achieved, I've done it as an individual. To be sincere, behind the successful person that many would see
on top,
there is a bunch that has been pushing me. Many of them have even been, actually, even students have gotten very much emotional support
from
students. You come and you present something, but they would say, we can't do that. But to you, you think it's failure. But when you come and explain to students, they will tell you a better way. Amongst us, we are in a university.
Yeah.
Here we are having people who are way mature than us.
I believe that.
And they would be better leaders because they have seen it all. Yeah. But these are the people we have been time and again crying to. And they tell you, no, you can't do this. If at all it fails, then organize a group and we can face them. And that's what I've always been doing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And we are coming to the closure of this.
Yes.
But I believe there's a way and a method you've been using to connect with students. What is that one way you've been using to connect with students?
Actually, first and foremost, I'm a person. Me being a girl president does not stop me from being like any other student. That's why I've been so much down to earth.
Yes.
There is an extent that you reach to and you feel you're so much frustrated. But whenever I've been home that side, when I'm resting during my free time, students themselves have been pushing me to come to office. I want you in office. Because it looks awkward for a student to send you a message and it's like, Mr. Guild President, I'm having this such and such a challenge, and you solve it online without your presence. In most cases, I've been telling them come to office because I want to see how best we can interact with the students physically.
Yes.
There are students who may fear to come up openly in public during maybe around school premises, but once it comes to sports, very many students are active that side. And time and again, I've been interacting with them once we go for sports. And that's why even you saw me with the basketball.
Yeah, I saw you with the ball come here. I was like, hey, Mr. Gil, you're going to play.
I'm a person who has been a sportsman.
Yeah.
All straight away from my primary. Yes, even when I came into this leadership, and even up to now, I believe, even if it would be there with the 12th parliament that is coming on, if at all they would give me a position that side, I believe I would be the best on their trip that they are having. So I've tried to reach down to every student, most of the students around. I'm a person who does not hesitate just because of the suits that one would put on, the ties that one would not. It does not put you away from being a normal person. So I've tried to reach out to every student. Right now we are having a challenge of mental health, which is becoming so hazardous to everyone. So if at all you don't reach down to a particular student to know exactly what is happening, trust me, you might end up losing students. We have very many students are frustrated. I've seen students who come to who will sit and they appear to be frustrated just because of a retake. Yes, I got a student who was being frustrated just because she got a retake. But remember, we have the legends who are having 2-3 retakes, and for them, they feel life is normal. So if at all you don't come out to know exactly what this particular student is going through, we shall end up having things like
someone has committed
suicide.
They have done what?
Exactly. So we have seen this happen. So that's why at least I've tried, even the various meetings I've been having with the various classes, at least I come to class to ask them some of the challenges. It's not a matter of, I'm a person who has hated sitting in the office. In most cases, students have been seeing me through the
And I've
corridors.
been passing your office. I don't find you there.
Exactly, but I'm within the corridors.
Yeah.
I'm outside of the office because I know there are students who will fear to come to those offices.
Yeah.
First and foremost, my office is always full. If at all you're to observe.
Yeah, there are
In
times when I've entered
other
there, it's
students-
never full.
Exactly. So if at all you don't have such a conducive environment whereby everyone can approach you at any moment,
Yeah.
trust me, you might end up losing because these are the people serving.
Yeah.
What are you going to present to administration? Are you going to just get from what you think is right for them, or you have to get ideas from what they think is right for them as a students? So that's why basically I've been so simple to approach. I've been an approachable leader, and I believe that's just character as a person.
Yeah.
The humanity bit of it in me, I believe this does not put me away from being a normal like any other person, because now this has been a 1 year term,
And it's now done.
it's now done.
And you know,
So if at all I was boasting, what would I be doing right now?
you'd be hiding.
Yes, because
Like,
these are
I
people
don't,
amongst the
even,
students.
even if I called you for this interview, like I'm busy, I have
Busy, I have
commitment.
But whom am I serving up there? If at all these other bigger leaders can come in for this, who am I not to come? So there are things that have been happening, and mind you, even amongst the students that we are serving, it's not that they are not capable of being in the positions we are having.
Yeah.
But just because maybe someone has busy schedules,
Yes.
and may not manage to come and attend this to this particular event at this particular moment. So that's why I wouldn't recommend anyone to step in this office and start boasting around, because even amongst them, we have people who are earning more than what we are earning.
I believe that.
They are our employees.
I believe-
Sorry, our employers. If at all someone can
There are people who you are studying with when they already own
Yes, they
things.
are CEOs.
Yeah.
And after this, these are the very people who be calling me and be like, Mr. President, can you work for this and this amount? And remember, here I've been like a boss.
Yeah.
And again, the other side now,
You have to go and serve.
So this is the person who will tell you, please, you're going to receive your salary in 3 months. So you have to be down to earth as a leader. It's not all about boasting, and it's not all about doing any other thing, because at the end of it all, time always people say that life is better.
Yeah, it is better.
It is better. So
That's what
life
I
is
say
short.
is that
Yes.
life is better.
Exactly. So yesterday I was a guild president, and today I'm no longer.
You're no longer.
Yes.
You have another person
So
replacing
in
you.
simple terms, from here I can even go somewhere and be like, someone will come with a vehicle and be like, I want to give you a lift.
Yeah.
So will I refuse just because a student who has never been a leader has
And
offered a lift?
at the same time, your life remains your life.
Yes,
And
exactly.
basically, I know you have had that moment that you
Actually,
feel like,
mind you, me being a guild president
Yes.
does not bring it to the fact that this is the supreme position I would love to be. I want to be open to the
Yes.
viewers, our dear viewers outside there. The thing is, this is just a stepping stone.
you
When
have better that you're vying for.
My goal, I've not yet achieved my goal. I have a better position that I feel if at all I reach there, then I would have achieved it all. But even if I reach there, I believe I can't be good.
You can't be satisfied. That's
Yes, I
one
can't
thing
be
that
good. So-
that we have read and I've tried to analyze.
Yes,
A successful man can never be satisfied.
exactly. I'm sure even president, there are some decisions he makes, but he knows there's a supreme being that is above
Yeah.
him, who can command and be like, I need your life, please. Let me give it to this such and such a person.
You can see your president, every Kichi Sanja is saying, I have a new plan.
Exactly.
I have a new
So
project.
today I might look to be independent, but tomorrow I will be dependent.
Yeah.
So it does not make sense when I come out and be like, now I'm the supreme being around the university. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
And of course, as I told you, we are coming to the closure of this.
Yes.
I believe there's one thing you want students to remember you for. What is that one thing you wish students to remember you for?
Actually, it's not one thing. I believe students should remember me for all the things I've done. Because I'm not a person who came into leadership to point at only
To
one
point
thing.
at only one thing.
Yes. There are things that I've tried to tackle. Amongst this, there are things that I feel have pained me that I've not managed to fulfill. But I want to assure even the students outside there that within the leadership you have been having, it's not a must that when we promise something, there are things that I promised. And in actual sense, my manifesto was very clear. But everything that was in my manifesto, I've submitted it in, and many have been worked upon.
And you feel you have covered
Yes.
almost 80% of your manifesto.
And without hesitating. Now there are things that I promised now, like about the retake fee. The retake fee, to be sincere, I'm a person who will stand against it. It's
Yes,
too
sir.
high for students. It's very high. But amongst all the reports I've submitted to the University Council, all the time, there is that bit of
the retake fee.
the retake fee. I always told the students that some of these things is not the decision of the management, but for the University Council.
Yes.
And remember something that you deliver in this meeting, they will have to think about it and then maybe discuss. They bring back the verdict
Yes, sir.
in the next meeting. So there are things that we have not managed to achieve in this reign, but I believe
The next reign will achieve it.
yes, and there are things that I believe we have achieved in our reign, but they were tackled about
In the previous reign.
leadership that we had. So it's just a gradual process, even for students who would be asking for accountability of the manifesto. You promised this, what have you achieved? I want to be open and tell every student outside there that at least I've presented each and everything. And I believe even the incoming field cabinet
Yes.
will have to tackle, because meanwhile, as we are handing over, there are things that we have left in the pipeline.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that with the guild, it has to come and start seeing how best we can push this. Amongst this, I would say very soon we shall start the inter-university games, of which now they secure the place.
They secured a pitch for the university.
Yes.
And I've actually been having students asking me about pitch,
Yes.
because they always see me posting in the papers.
Yes.
But now today I have you, Mr. Outgoing Guild.
Yes.
Assure the students, tell them the pitch is here at this point and here.
Now with the pitch, I want to be open. With the first thing that I know about, it's all about the place where we are going to put the basketball
Yes,
court,
sir.
the volleyball court,
Yes, sir.
the netball court,
Yes, sir.
of which it has even been cleared. Many of us we shall see, and at the same time they are going to construct something where we shall be having our body games.
Wow.
Meanwhile, we are looking for a best pitch where we know we can handle all our games, we can host our games. My view in the meeting was, if at all we can have MOUs with the available pitches.
Yes, sir.
Kadiba inclusive. But only that now, how can we schedule our programs? Because at the same time, the Kadiba that we would love
Yes.
is being used by another.
Yes, it's being used by big clubs like
Express and now that they have brought even the academies and
Yes.
even the girls football, so it has affected in the programs. But I believe everything. It's our leadership. We tried to reach out with the council that is responsible for the inter-university games, of which they gave us the precautions and the requirements that we are needed to fulfill, so that now we can join officially. And so being, I believe the incoming guild cabinet, we shall have to tell them exactly where we ended, and they start from there. Mind you, given that we also we transformed from being an institute
to a university,
we also changed the things like in the student guild's constitution. Initially, we have been using that for HRM, but now it's Ernest University. So we had to transform it, and of which we already finished to go through, produce it through H and everything. Now it's just a matter of taking it to URSB for stamping, and actions start to be taken. Amongst those, we shall have some fringe benefits for the leaders. Yes. Because at this, what I would talk about is a leader should be gotten where to sleep, places of residence. But with this, I wouldn't do it during my term, because the reason being, someone would think that I'm maybe fighting for what I'm supposed to own at that moment. I'm there for fringe benefits. But me as a person, I believe for you as a guild president, you should be able to provide these small necessities. Yes. Time and again, people have been asking me, your office, we don't find you. Lunchtime, most cases, you're not around. I'm like, but I believe as a guild president, I never went there as a needy person just to get food. But if at all I can provide that to a student who is down there and suffering, who may not be financially stable, then well and good. Me, my work is to represent. I would have solved a certain problem. So these are some of the things. And I believe, back to the question, what would I be remembered for?
Yes.
I don't want to leave minus answering that question. Is first and foremost, I don't think whether there is any guild president who has ever been smarter than have been in my reign.
I cannot testify because I also just joined the university last.
Try to.
But I must comment, among all the guild presidents of Ernest University,
not only the Ernest University, but I believe nationwide.
Let me see that. Nationwide. Actually, I must comment that if we are ranking, you are among the top 3.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
According to my analysis and ranking, top 3.
The most approachable girl the
Yes,
president
most
have ever seen.
approachable. I remember when I approached that Kynobera, I got my phone. With my yeah, that time. And I was checking, I was like, man, this guy, will he help me really? But I'm so proud that
Why couldn't you try? Why couldn't you try? Whom would you run to if at all it wasn't me?
It was no other person.
So there are
Because
things
I remember that guy was threatening, was like, if you don't bring 500,000, no fun.
and mind you, there's one thing that has been hurting me. When I stepped into leadership, you remember during my campaigns, even your close friend can decide to go against you.
Yeah.
I have people who never campaigned for me, but if at all someone does not support you, it does not mean that that is a crime. I might have not convinced them
Yeah.
to what they thought was exactly what they needed, and maybe my other opponent did so.
Convinced them.
So some of these things have been happening in a way that they have been facing challenges as students, but deep in them, they know, because I know they never supported me, they would fear to come up openly and talk to me, of which me too would hurt. From the moment I went through, I knew I'm representing students. Let it be this one who supported me, let it be this one who never. So I have to stand in at all costs. Many of them have been facing challenges, but they have been quietly going through them. It hurts them, but it comes to my notice at the end of it all, after someone suffering, and yet I knew I would have stood in for that particular person. I have even students who came to me and they were like, I can't believe that this is what you have done. I expected you to be harsh on me, but I'm like, no, it's not a query that because you never supported me, I shouldn't support you. I'm a representative of all. And even the people who are coming into offices after us, I want to request you that even if you know someone, and mind you, I want to put this to your notice, that the people who have been campaigning for you, they may not benefit much from you, but the people who have been against you,
they're the ones who benefit.
They will benefit much from you. So, in most cases, there are things that I do as a person. I always tell people, even far back then in my village, my family has an MP of the district. But I always tell them, members, the moment you're supporting a particular leader, you shouldn't support with the aim of having something from him or her, but support for the goodwill of others. I would be one person who would be against the things of monetarizing each and everything. Trust me, with Uganda politics, I've always told the students that it has gone astray. That's why in the parliaments that you're having, it's rare to find to find, I would say, an MP who has a first class. Many of these people, they are in parliament, but what is the maximum level of education that they need? Form 6.
Senior 6,
Senior 6, and someone has a pass at university. But so long as someone has money, we can stand it. And this is a person who is going to make now decisions on your behalf. Right now, we are having a
bill.
Yes, we are having a bill, and many of them don't even understand how it's going to work.
They don't understand what is the meaning of sovereignty, and most of them are supporting it just...
And they will go to parliament. If in the case they are to take, maybe, let me say, a consensus, and they will try to ask. Many of them will come up and will stand up openly and be like, I'm supporting the bill. And this is how it's going to come and affect. Mind you, as leaders, when we are doing some of these things, I always tell leaders, do something that you know is not going to haunt you tomorrow. As I told you, it has time limits.
Leadership was
and mind you, time solves each and everything. I always tell people, you might be against the government that is on, but remember there was also a particular group that was against the other
government.
And now it's no longer, it's now in history. Even the current government that we are having, and where many are seeing that it's now becoming a problem, tomorrow it won't be around, and we shall be talking about totally a very different different government. So time is the best solution for each and everything. Meanwhile, as we are serving, let's serve to our maximum so that we don't regret tomorrow. I want to be open to everyone that even when I hand over right now, I can even be free. Even if they're organized right now, I can hand over. And tomorrow I won't regret that. I wish I would have done this, because I believe I've been given a chance.
And that brings me to the question, what should the next school president prioritize immediately? They are just so in like this.
The first and foremost, they should represent the ideas from the people they are serving. As per now, I believe the manifestos they have been having, they have not been getting it from students.
They have been having their own manifestos.
But now what they have to present is not what they have been having in the manifesto, but to present what is coming from the what?
The students.
From the students. Amongst the manifestos, I would say some people have been telling you, we are going to do this, we are going to do this. But with the students will come out and be like, the leaders who have been promising, maybe someone will come and promise to give you meals. But remember, there's someone who is going to come and be like, my problem is not a meal. My problem is with the students' photo.
Yeah. My problem is tuition.
There is one thing I did during that time when they bring another platform for exams. I'm sorry to say this, but I remember writing an article on behalf of the students. I was supposed to talk this after years when I'm away, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I wrote an article about a strike of that particular platform. But why? It was after me presenting very many times and I was not getting a feedback. But I based that article, I wrote it basing on the pressure I was getting from students, because students needed emergency response, and their query, actually it wasn't even like a response, but they were not demanding for much. Only what they wanted was to hear that that platform has been dismissed.
That was what they were demanding for.
Exactly. And not that 2 to 3 students, the majority of the students. I don't recall asking any student who knew about that particular platform and was okay with it. Because the questions we were all having as students is, if at all the portal by then was still having challenges, how sure are we that even what they have brought will be compatible for us? And in making matters worse, it needed particularly laptops. Do you think every student can afford?
Not every student can afford a laptop.
There are some things that I felt they were best, and even if me as a leader, not forgetting that I'm also a student, I would make decisions on behalf of others. It does not need me to go and inquire from all the students, but at least what I would think is right as a leader. And that's what I've been basing on. So even the people who are coming in offices, one thing I would love to ask you to do is to present what students are requesting for. Remember, these students, the people you're serving as a leader, they are the customers of this particular business. Without these students,
it's nowhere.
Yes. Now, assuming tomorrow, next semester, we don't come back and we all decide to go to other universities that are doing this.
It will basically not.
So basically, this business won't be a function. Yeah. So even the infrastructures you're seeing, they will vanish.
Yeah.
Next time you come and you find another university.
Yeah, another university or a business.
So we have to serve the people. These are the customers of the what? Of the university. So in such doing, you're bridging the gap. Because the administration is not all about I believe they are doing whatever they are doing because they are earning a living from it.
Yes.
I don't think whether there's anyone who can sacrifice him or herself to work for free cost.
No one.
So if at all we refuse to do something, or we refuse what they have decided to come up with, we shall be showing them that we are not satisfied with what they are trying to provide.
All right.
So basically that.
I want us to do a fire quickie as we're running up with this. In this fire quickie, I want us to go through my fire quickie was here. Wait, my fire quickie. Yeah, so a quick roundup. One word that describes your term.
It has been a melting magma.
The toughest decision you made?
The toughest decision.
Yeah.
It was the part of Freshers Ball when I was requested by the administration to turn down the function, and I decided to push it.
Actually, we didn't know. For us, we just excited.
I just pushed it on. Exactly. Actually, with that, I faced the toughest challenge that I decided to come into it because I knew there were forces that were influencing. But to me, according to the Freshers Board that I know in my mind, I've attended too many.
Yes.
I believe what we had was a Freshers Board, not having a birthday party. Yes.
Okay.
That was the toughest, that even after I was called upon by the administration.
And questioned
about exactly the reason as why I decided to continue with that particular function and whatsoever happened.
What is your most favorite moment in office?
favorite moment
Yes.
is when a student comes up openly to thank me for what I've done.
Wow.
To me, according to me, I feel they are satisfied with the service.
Then your most stressful moment?
Stressful moment, it came last semester. I remember going in for all the papers live wire.
Because you've been busy.
There are 2 course units that I only attended 1 lecture each. But to assure you, I went for the final papers.
That is
And
very
lucky enough
stressful.
that I passed. But I was so much stressed. I reached an extent of asking myself if at all I would do them as missed papers. But I knew this would be my last semester, so there was no need of pushing. I would have a very
missed
big
papers.
backlog.
Yeah. You'd have
So-
even a look back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to just go, and I'm like, let me go. I believe I will pass. But I'm not trying to tell students that you can also go in
go live wire.
and because things can turn the other way around.
Yeah.
I had the chance, but they are the worst perform. I think that's the worst performed course units that I have on my portal. But luckily enough,
Yeah, you
I
passed
passed
them.
them.
So I want you to give these students one final message as you're closing or closing your leadership.
One final message is thanking them. To be sincere, I wouldn't use this 1 minute to praise myself, but I want to thank the particular students who put me in this particular office. I'm so much thankful. I'm so much privileged, at least to have shared this particular moment with all the students of Ernest University. It has given me an experience of which I believe it has made me a better person, even in tomorrow's life, even today's life. Yes.
Wow. And that has been Mr. Jonathan Kynobera, the outgoing guild president of Ernest University. I actually thought if I presented him this decision, he would not turn up. And I thought he was going to say, this guy one student also. But I want to thank you very much for being a person of the people, Omuntu w'abantu. Whatever he has said, he has delivered it. And there were criticisms that even me, I was almost fooled into believing in. Chimanyi, this guy has not secured us a pitch. He has not done what? He has not fought for our take fees. They're very high. But the guy has told you, let's wait for the next leaders and see what you're going to say about them. Because the guy has said he has delivered.
I don't know.
Though he has some inconveniences.
To my own knowing, I believe this particular video is going to be watched by each and everyone.
Yeah, it is going to be
I
watched.
wouldn't come out openly to say anything that is false
Yes.
on public media. I can't.
Yeah.
At least I have to present what I'm supposed to present,
Yes,
and
sir.
what I now have accountability for. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that moment.
I'm
Granted.
humbled. I'm humbled.